In October and November 2008, fighting intensified in North Kivu province. The fragile ceasefire concluded in January was but a distant memory. The rebel forces of the CNDP, led by Laurent Nkunda, were gaining ground against the Congolese army and had reached the outskirts of Goma, provincial capital. In Rutshuru, the MSF team stayed in the hospital when the fighting was at its peak. Gunshot wounds were frequent. In early November, we treated over 100 patients for bullet wounds within a period of 48 hours. Many of them were civilians, fired at as they tried to flee.
His mother was carrying him on her back, fleeing the fighting, when suddenly he was hit by a bullet, which went through his knee and into his mother. His mother died on the spot, leaving just the child. It was his father who fetched him and brought him here.
The level of violence caused tens of thousands of civilians to flee south towards Goma or north to Kaina. For many of them, this was not the first such flight. MSF followed them to provide assistance.
What we do is we send a team of doctors or nurses to wherever they've settled. They take care of any patients in need of treatment and they inform the population of when they'll next be back. Obviously, some cases are more serious than others, or conditions that have degenerated because they haven't been treated in time, like malaria or respiratory infections.
Specialized teams also treat rape victims. As an indication of the scale of such violence in North Kivu, MSF teams treated 4,600 rape victims in 2008. In Nyanzale, they received on average 300 victims a month. Fast response and mobility are key factors for MSF teams. In late January, the Congolese and Rwandan armies launched a joint offensive against Rwandan Hutu rebels, the FDLR, whose ranks include men who took part in the Rwandan genocide and who sought refuge in the DRC in 1994. The conflict then moved north towards Kaina. Further population movements took place. MSF responded by setting up mobile clinics, as well as a mobile surgical team, which set to work in Kaina Hospital. Further south, the situation had more or less stabilized. After the CNDP split, the Congolese army re-established control over the Rutshuru area. The hospital continues to treat emergency cases only. In 2008, the teams carried out nearly 3,800 surgical interventions.